In this lesson, we're going to be looking at a form, a type of word, which is abstract nouns. And I'm sure by the end of the lesson, you're going to find this understanding very useful when sharing and describing experiences. So what exactly is abstract and concrete nouns? Well, abstract nouns are things that we can't touch. It's the names given to things that do exist, but that we cannot touch. Concrete nouns are the majority of objects and things that we know that we can touch. So, with this information in hand, can you think of any abstract noun examples? I'll give you 10 or 15 seconds now to try and think of some examples. Okay, so keep your ideas in your head. I'll give you a quick rundown now of a couple of examples and think if you were correct. So let's begin with an abstract noun first. Now, there are a lot of examples of nouns that we cannot touch, but a good example would be something like time. On the other hand, a clock would be a concrete noun. We can touch that. Time we know exists, we measure it, we record it, we run our general schedules by this, but it's something that we cannot touch. Therefore, it's an abstract noun. A concrete noun is probably a little bit easier to give an example of, but here I have an example which most of us will have possession of, and simply that would be a phone. So there is a quick run through of the difference between abstract and concrete nouns, and understanding the difference can be very important, and especially as I'll show you coming up in a few minutes time. So let's take another look at a collection of both abstract and concrete nouns. And I'm just going to give you 30 seconds to try and identify the abstract nouns within a table I'm going to show you. So 30 seconds, try and identify and sort the nouns into abstract and concrete. Starting now. Okay, let's stop there. If you didn't quite finish, you can pause the video and have another go. But here are in red the abstract nouns: friendship, luxury, skill, rumour, sleep, fun, opinion, and peace. So these are abstract nouns. They exist, but we cannot touch them. Now you'll notice that I have very much highlighted fun, as this is an abstract noun to describe feelings. And really that's where we're going to focus this lesson: abstract nouns of feelings. Because of course being able to share our feelings in conversation will really help us to express our ideas as well as express our ideas in a foreign language. So let's take a look at a few examples of abstract nouns of feelings. So these types of abstract nouns are really great for describing events and situations, both in the past and the present, within our lives. Today we're going to focus on 5 really interesting abstract nouns of feelings. And I'm going to give you some examples that you can then take a look at and try and use these pieces of vocabulary within your own speaking too. So the first abstract noun is overjoyed, which quite simply means extremely happy. Then we have depressed, which means very sad, almost given up. It's quite an extreme feeling. And now we're going to look at 3 abstract nouns which are a bit more slang, a bit more native sounding, and maybe used a little bit more between native English speakers, especially within British native English speakers. Starting with the very British phrase gutted, which just means very disappointed. Gutted. Then we have killing it, a phrase used across many native English speakers. You'll see this a lot in movies. Killing it. It just means doing something very well or being successful. And finally, more British, the abstract noun buzzing. It means to be excited. Of course, usually we'd spell it with a G at the end, but the contraction is buzzing. Buzzing, like I've just said there, buzzing. So that just means that you were really excited about an event, or you are very excited about an event that took place. So let's jump into a live video and I'll talk through a few different examples of these 5 abstract nouns of feelings within use. So our first abstract noun that we'll be looking at for feelings is overjoyed. And this is obviously in the past tense, so we'd use this for when discussing an event that happened in the past that we were really happy with. It was something that was a very joyous occasion. So if you were to say, the day that I had my first child, I was overjoyed, then that'd be a really great use of this abstract noun. I was overjoyed when I had my first child. I was overjoyed the day of my wedding. So it's really that extreme. It's not just happy. It's beyond that. It would be for a time that you definitely remember as being super happy, overjoyed. And on the opposite end of the scale would be the abstract noun depressed. So it means to be sad, but even further than that, if you say, I felt quite depressed, I was depressed, it means that really you were extremely sad. You were very downbeat. Another good abstract noun, depressed. So it really can mean that you were very upset, and it can also be a state of mental well-being. So if you say that someone is depressed, it means that generally they are quite unhappy or very unhappy, in fact. So the day that, I lost my wallet with my driving license, I was very depressed. I was super depressed. It was difficult to get these belongings back. Another example could be my auntie passed away, which is a phrase to say died. My auntie passed away. I was very depressed. Okay, enough of depressed. Let's move on to our next abstract noun, and that is a super British expression, gutted. Gutted. You would say it not quite gutted, but it's the sound, gutted. I was gutted. I missed the taxi. I was gutted. I missed the flight. I was gutted. If you're talking about sports, I went to shoot a basketball. I missed. I was gutted. The whole team were gutted. It just basically means very disappointed. And it's used colloquially amongst native speakers a lot, especially in the UK. Gutted, very disappointed. Okay, more of a global phrase now. This is a phrase for when you've done something really successfully, or you just want to describe yourself or someone as doing well, and that is killing it. So you can say killing it. And it's definitely more of a global expression than gutted. It's used across the globe, commonly used within films, in music as well. Killing it. And it basically means you're doing really well. I released this new song onto SoundCloud or whatever web server, and it's so popular, it's going viral. I'm killing it. I'm doing really well. Again, it's a very native sounding expression, so it's great to use these kinds of expressions in your speaking to really fast track your way to fluency within English. And our last abstract noun that I want to show you is certainly a very British phrase, and it's used quite commonly to talk about excitement, the feeling of excitement, and it is buzzing. You can hear that end sounds zin, buzzing, but it's pronounced buzzing. And basically, it's that feeling of excitement. We just won this award at work. My team, we are buzzing. We're so happy. We're really excited that we did something. It's definitely very much a UK English expression, buzzing, the feeling of excitement. After that concert, I was buzzing. It was such a great show. Really excited. Okay, so there are my 5 really useful abstract nouns that you can use when discussing your feelings and experiences. Have a go at using them now. Go to the Q&A section and just write me a few examples using these phrases, and I'll come and have a look at that as soon as I can.